Take a sphere. Add air. That is the entire material requirement for the most consumed cultural product on Earth. With just that object, the friction of poverty disappears. It operates without manicured grass, complex infrastructure, or a single cent of capital. We live in a heavily segmented reality. We are divided by hard borders, vast wealth disparities, and thousands of conflicting languages. Yet if you drop a ball between 10 total strangers from 10 different continents, they instantly share a common rule set and a common objective. The mechanics of how this happens are fascinating. How exactly does a barefoot kickabout in the dust scale up to an event that commands the attention of half the human race? It scales because it operates as a shared language, one of the few we've actually managed to sustain across the globe. That collective energy eventually concentrates into specific individuals. Over decades, millions of local matches produced singular players who became avatars for mass human emotion. Look at Pelé. He provided the initial proof of concept, demonstrating that raw imagination could conquer structured defenses. Contrast that with Diego Maradona. He channeled defiance, offering a blueprint for how a single player could weaponize a nation's collective anger on the pitch. Johan Cruyff introduced a ruthless geometric logic. He showed that space on the field was malleable, something to be manipulated rather than just occupied. Zinedine Zidane operated with a cold, balletic precision, a mechanical grace that could violently fracture under pressure. As tactical systems grew increasingly rigid, Ronaldinho served as a deliberate disruption, proving that unfiltered playfulness still had utility at the highest levels. Lionel Messi refined that intuitive lineage into mechanical consistency. He turned pure genius into a measurable, repeatable output, year after year. Cristiano Ronaldo provided the necessary friction to that output. He proved that extreme psychological endurance and physical conditioning could rival innate talent. These legends translated their individual skill into a planetary broadcast product. Their presence on the pitch provided the structural foundation for the modern football empire. But that immense reach carried a cost. The global fascination with these icons drew the intense focus of multinational capital. As financial rewards at the pyramid's top grow, the industry treats the sport less like a game and more like a high-yield investment. This logic filters down to youth academies. When a teenager represents a multi-million-dollar asset, his development becomes a high-stakes performance review. And because the sport is so vast, it acts as a high-fidelity mirror for our deepest social failures. The racism and tribalism embedded in wider society inevitably spill over the turnstiles and into the stands. When a player falters under pressure, a sprawling media ecosystem is waiting to monetize the fallout, eagerly converting missed penalties into highly profitable national outrage. We are left with a sprawling, deeply flawed industry. It forces a question: has the sport been permanently co-opted by the corporate structures that now govern it? The answer requires looking away from the executive suites and television contracts. The cycles of scandal and politics are consistently eclipsed by the physical weight of the crowd. The reality of 40,000 people in a stand creates an environment that the corporate machine cannot simulate. Far from the sanctioned stadiums, the game is still executed daily on uneven dirt and concrete, operating completely outside the boundaries of commercial extraction. The vast majority of those playing will never sign a contract or lift a recognized trophy. They play to build immediate community, to escape their current reality, and to construct a shared history. It functions as a global metronome. Billions of people, separated by oceans and ideologies, use the exact same matches and the exact same goals to bookmark the passing decades of their own lives. A sport demanding absolutely no physical infrastructure manages to yield massive emotional returns. It remains stubbornly immune to total corporate capture because its value is generated entirely by the people who participate in it. Strip away the broadcasting rights, the politics, and the noise, and you are left exactly where it all started.